Hi, this is my reflective commentary video for feedback point 3. These images that you can see on the screen are of the models that I made for the last feedback point 2. They were mostly made from recycled materials. From my initial mind map, the words were based around well-being and spatial design. This led to a deeper dive into how I could create a restorative interior space. So the mind map that I did after that expanded on this idea and led me to sketch some ideas around these words and meanings. I then chose a few of these words to base my models around. This was a fun exercise. So before I moved on to remaking the models, I thought it was important to make 2 more models based on the words light and happiness. I feel that these 2 words connect strongly to restorative. I enjoyed experimenting again whilst making these models, but sadly forgot to take photographs of them. I did sketch them, which you can see here. So before making any new models, I thought it would be a good time to try something a little different. I remember doing this exercise a little while ago, where I cut window shapes into a piece of card, and then I placed it over the sketches, moving it around to see what ideas might come from it. I particularly like the way the window highlights certain parts of the sketches, but not all, which leaves some to the imagination. I then chose 2 of the models I found most interesting to remake. I chose happiness and stress, which are both needed to build stronger and healthier mental health. We need to recognise the stress to build the happiness. I explored shape and materiality and decided to use white card this time. The wavy strips make an interesting model, as do the other structures, and I photographed them in different light to make them so much more intriguing. I also used the light and mono settings on my phone to take images, which was also a lot of fun. So by placing the models next to one another and upon each other, they just take on a whole new meaning. There seems to be a lot of interest between the white card and the brown recycled paper once they're sat next to each other. I guess they're contrasting in colours, so that probably is why it looks a lot more interesting. They don't seem to have the same impact on their own, which again, it makes a difference because there's more emphasis on their form and their structure. I then added a woven basket over the top and propped it up before taking more photos, particularly looking through the holes, getting a close-up of the model inside. This style reminds me of the Jali doors that I designed in my last project for the Barbican. It blows my mind how doing this simple exercise connects to previous works subliminally. And then finally adding scale figures, some drawing pins, some natural hessian, and propping the woven basket up really brought the space together. I particularly love the curves in the natural material and the paper. One of the images shows the model looking almost swan-like, which is quite nice. Not intentional at all. My favourite addition has to be the white card, where I've layered it up, the curves, and I've layered them up like steps. My love of both things brought together. I also made an initial project brief for the practical project I'm designing for, which can be found here.